Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into some truly eye-opening research from Doctorspective, exploring a hidden biological connection between the sweet foods we eat and our long-term cognitive health. Could the sweet treats you enjoy every single day actually be silently affecting your brain? What if one of the biggest threats to your mind wasn't just getting older, but something sitting right there in your pantry? Stick with us until the end to discover some simple daily changes that can make a meaningful difference to your long-term brain health. Courtesy of Doctorspective, trusted health, smarter living. We all know that sugar impacts our waistlines, right? But I want you to ask yourself a tough question. Could that morning pastry, or maybe that heavily sweetened coffee you grab on the way to work, actually be silently damaging your memory and your ability to learn over time? Sugar is literally everywhere, from soft drinks and desserts to breakfast cereals and highly processed foods. And while we obsess over tracking its effect on this scale, we almost never stop to consider what it's doing to our neurons in the long run.
So let's get right into our first section here, the hidden brain threat.
You see, we usually focus entirely on the physical, metabolic consequences of eating too much sugar. Things like weight gain and diabetes. But by doing that, we're completely missing the hidden neurological effects. Researchers have uncovered a pretty staggering fact. People who struggle with poor blood sugar control or have type 2 diabetes actually face a significantly higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. The damage isn't just happening to the body, it's happening directly inside your brain.
This brings us to a fascinating concept for our next section. Is Alzheimer's actually type 3 diabetes?
Now, you might have actually heard the term type 3 diabetes floating around recently. Scientists are using this provocative research term to highlight the incredible, almost undeniable similarities between Alzheimer's disease and insulin resistance in the brain. Now, just to be clear, it's important to note that this isn't an official clinical diagnosis, but it perfectly captures the metabolic overlap that researchers are observing right now. To really understand why they use that term, we have to look at how insulin actually functions up in your head. In a healthy, normal brain, insulin isn't just a blood sugar regulator like it is in the rest of your body. It acts like a literal key. It unlocks your brain cells so they can get the energy they desperately need to communicate and grow. But when the body becomes resistant to insulin, the brain gets locked out. Those vital brain cells literally can't access their energy source, and they begin to starve. And the craziest part, you can actually see this energy starvation happening on brain scans. Modern studies show that people with poor blood sugar control show visible physical changes in the exact regions of the brain that are involved in memory and learning. So the very areas responsible for holding on to our most precious memories are the ones taking the direct hit. Which leads us to section 3, inflammation and oxidative stress. Let's look at how this damage actually happens at a microscopic level. Basically, chronic high blood sugar sets off this devastating chain reaction. First, it triggers chronic inflammation all throughout the body. That inflammation then unleashes something called oxidative stress, which is a process where these harmful molecules known as free radicals just run wild. Finally, those free radicals literally attack your healthy neurons, paving the way for cognitive decline. It's like a domino effect inside your head. And adding even more fuel to that inflammatory fire are things called AGEs, which stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. When excess sugar attaches to proteins and fats in your body, these really harmful compounds are formed, and they literally build up and gunk up your delicate brain tissue. This promotes the exact kind of rapid decay that doctors see in Alzheimer's disease.
So whether the main threat is the inflammation caused by high blood sugar, the oxidative stress from those wild free radicals, or the AGEs just gunking up your tissues, the ultimate impact is exactly the same. It's a highly coordinated, microscopic assault on your cognitive health. A three-pronged attack that slowly but surely damages cells and harms your healthy neurons over time.
All right, take a deep breath because we're moving to section 4, how to protect your brain. The science here is actually incredibly empowering because eating sugar alone absolutely does not guarantee you'll develop Alzheimer's. It's a deeply, deeply complex disease influenced by a whole web of interconnected factors. We're talking about your age, your genetics, how well you sleep, your physical activity levels, and of course, your cardiovascular health. They all play a massive role. It's really about looking at the big picture. And because it's about the big picture, there is a lot of good news here. According to major sources like the World Health Organization and the National Institute on Aging,
Adopting some specific proactive lifestyle habits can absolutely help maintain healthy glucose levels and support your brain as you age. We are talking about simple, everyday choices. Things like choosing whole grains over refined carbs, limiting those sugary drinks, and packing your plate with vegetables, nuts, beans, and healthy fats. It also means exercising regularly, seriously prioritizing your sleep, and working with your healthcare provider to manage conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure.
Ultimately, reducing your added sugar intake isn't about total deprivation. You don't have to give up every sweet thing forever. The real message here is balance. Following a generally healthy lifestyle helps protect your heart, it helps protect your metabolism, and as this Doctorspective research strongly suggests, it absolutely helps protect your mind as you age. So, based on all this compelling evidence, I want to leave you with a quick challenge. What is one simple sweet habit that you can change today for the sake of your long-term cognitive health? Maybe it's swapping out a daily soda for sparkling water, or maybe just choosing a different breakfast tomorrow morning. Small, manageable changes today could make a massive difference in protecting your amazing brain for all your tomorrows. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.